The image used in this tutorial was provided by Pixmac.com. Access over 10 million images for just about any project that you may be working on. Makeup is another very effective addition that you can add to your models to make their eyes pop. This video will show you a fairly simple method to add somewhat realistic makeup to your models. The main thing that will create a natural look will be the blending modes and opacity that we're going to use. Now remember, depending on the images that you use, you will need to experiment with different blending modes, different colors, and different opacity. This video should give you a starting point to help you with your own projects. Let's begin. We're going to start right above the eyelids. Go ahead and create a new layer and set this layer's blending mode to color. Now for the color, we're going to select a nice mid-tone blue, somewhere around here. Now before we begin painting, let's define the brush that we're going to use. Hopping into our brush tool by pressing the letter B on our keyboard, I'm going to make sure my brush's hardness is set to 0. We definitely don't want any sharp edges. I'm going to also decrease my brush's opacity to around 30%. This will allow the blue to blend really nicely with the skin tones. Setting the size of the brush by using my left and right square bracket keys, I'm going to set it to around the thickness of the eyelid. Now we can go ahead and brush right above the eyelid. That's looking pretty good. Now let's add another layer for the next coat of makeup. Now this time, I'm going to set the blending mode to soft light. For this coat, I'm going to select a nice purpley pink color, and I'm going to keep my brush's opacity at 30% again. Let's increase our brush size by using the right square bracket key and add a nice stroke above our last one. Now don't worry if it looks a little bit too blocky, we'll erase some of the sharper edges right now. Go ahead and grab your eraser by pressing E, make sure the hardness is set to 0, and go ahead and brush around the edges. Perfect. And last, let's create one last layer for the eyeliner. For this layer, we're going to set the blending mode to multiply, select a nice dark color, and decrease the brush size quite a bit. Now you can paint over the outside of the eye to really make it pop. That's looking pretty decent. Looking at the before and after, that's looking pretty decent and somewhat natural. Now there's obviously a lot more you can do with it, but this should have given you a starting point to adding makeup to your own models. I've shown you a few different blending modes, but make sure to play around with it yourself. Try out a few different blending modes, colors, and opacities to get the result that you're after.